What's up, YouTube? In today's video, I'm talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and discussing what they can do in this upcoming offseason to improve this team. Russell Westbrook trade probably not going to happen. What veteran minimums can they get off the market? We'll discuss that here in a moment. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment what you think the Lakers should do in the offseason, and let's just roll right on into it. So who's a free agent for this Lakers team? Who isn't a free agent for this Lakers team? Let's read it. Let's read together. Ariza, Ellington, Dwight Howard, Kent Bazemore, Carmelo, Malik Monk, Avery Bradley, DJ Augustine. Okay? That's not to mention some of their other two-way guys and potentially Austin Reeves and Wendy Gabriel, who they actually have just recently announced that they are going to keep. And they're guaranteeing their deal, I should say. Westbrook, LeBron, AD. Those are the three best players on this team, I guess, because Westbrook probably isn't. But, I mean, they're paid like it. So that's their cap sheet right now. We'll get into that in just a moment. But they still have Talen Horton-Tucker, and they still have Kendrick Nunn, who we'll talk about in a minute. Extension-eligible players. Westbrook, we keeping him? Probably not. Talen Horton-Tucker, if he doesn't show anything this year, I think you have to be done. Kendrick Nunn missed all of last year. Really is only on this team just because he opted into his player option. He could be on the move. Him and Tucker are probably two guys that I think they can try to move around. We'll see, though. And then Austin Reeves and Stanley Johnson. I think these are two young prospects that you can still try to work with as best you can. But as of right now, I feel like this team just still needs to figure out their depth. They need to figure out the Russell Westbrook situation. But above all else, and this is maybe a hot take, everybody's focusing in on the Westbrook deal and saying they got to move him or figure out how to play him because they got to keep him now and they have no other choice. I think the biggest thing going into this next year is the LeBron James situation and his current contract extension. No players in the NBA will ever take less money. They're doing a disservice to all other players in the Players Association. Because if a team, for an example, if Kyrie would have taken the veteran minimum or the mid-level to sign with the Lakers, at every point, every GM and coach and any guy in the hierarchy of NBA franchises, like the owners, they could easily say, Kyrie did it, why don't you do it? And it will devalue everything that these players have worked for in their negotiations with the CBA and everything that they've been working up to just as players. So I don't anticipate LeBron taking less money unless it's his last year or two. That being said, obviously he's going to want to get paid. This Lakers team is a little strapped right now, and it will relieve itself next year. You look actually the next year, they actually have some cap space because the only player who's guaranteed to be on this team next season is Anthony Davis. After that, maybe not. There's nobody. And we'll look at that. In fact, let's go take a look at the cap sheet right now. All these players in colors right here, these are all players who are guys who are going to be free agents. But then look at 2023, 24. Look at the season after that, 24, 25. A quick rebuild is in order for LA. But it's going to suck this year, I think. And maybe next year. But there is a way that they can clean their books pretty easily. That's kind of the benefit of having three really highly paid players, is that turnover can happen relatively quickly. Now, pick situation. Let's look at that real quick. They still have the option to flip picks with New Orleans, or I should say New Orleans has the option to flip picks with them. So we'll see. But they're going to take the lesser, 2026, 27, 28, they don't have their picks. Or they do have their picks. But there's only one more year that they will not owe the Pelicans picks anymore. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the Lakers. The LeBron James situation, does he come back? Is there potential teams now that are going to say, maybe we should save up cap space and wait for LeBron to get here? Interesting. Very interesting. Give me Westbrook and Harden, or give me Westbrook and THT and Kendrick Nunn. Those are probably the ideal candidates for trade. And then they need to sign veterans at this point. They only can discount shop at this point. So who are they able to acquire? Do they bring a lot of these guys back? Hopefully not. Because Westbrook ultimately isn't the issue with this team in one singular thing. Darvin Ham, now the head coach of the Lakers, I anticipate that they're going to bring in a lot of defenders, and that's honestly what they need. Don't worry about their lack of offensive skills because I think you have enough offense coming and being generated through LeBron, AD, and Westbrook. Now, how they hold up during the regular season, we'll see. But as of right now, I just really worry about this team. I think they probably should make the play-in or be the lower part of the playoffs next year. But man, the West is good, and teams are getting better. Teams are getting healthier, like their neighbor in LA with the Clippers. So we'll see what the Lakers can provide. Obviously, we're not going to project that stuff out now. We're going to wait to see what they do in the offseason and go from there. But this is just a little prep to the offseason. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, like it, comment. What do you think the Lakers should do in the offseason? Any targets that you're looking at? Yeah, go check out the other 30 videos we're doing for the NBA and all teams and all team previews. So we'll catch you in the next one.